Hi guys, welcome back to an AET Customs video, and today we'll be looking at this guy over here, the Supernova Heavyarm Custom. Okay, so this kit over here is actually the final kit that Supernova will ever make, because as per news which I heard is that they actually shut down because they are afraid of Bandai coming after them. Okay, so this is actually the final kit that they will produce. And also, in my opinion, is the best kit that they ever produce. Alright, so as you can see, this video over here, I add in some warmer tone light so that you can see more of the details, because this kit over here has more darker tones of color. Okay, and every single part of this is not painted or stickered up, because it is all color separated perfectly. Alright, complaints about this kit, well, I can't really seem to find any, because I would say that this kit is the best one. The color separation is very accurate. As you can see over here, this black part over here is actually a part, and this part, all these spiky things here, are also a separate part. Okay, if you compare with the other, Supernova kits, this thing inside here, you might be able to get it the color, but this spiky part over here is usually you have to paint it yourself, and also this knee part here and the side here. Okay, and yeah, you can see this color accent, everything is everywhere, right? You can see here also color accent, here is a separate parts, and even the legs. Right, you can see there's a dark blue and also the gray. So this, I would say, is one of the best. Loose parts, for example, I can't really seem to find it. Right, of course you can see that this is actually I show it in a open form, but actually you can just close them up. As you can see just now, I already closed up the legs, missile pods, right? So after even closing up, the kit still looks pretty badass. Okay, so for this missile part here, right, it is not just a simple in, right? If, let's say, example, you see if I have to close it, it won't close. You have to push it down slightly and then you close it. Okay, so these are a few things you have to be aware. Okay, so as you can see, this is actually the pre-order package, I guess, that comes with extra 2 Gatling guns. Alright, so if I were to go through the manual, you can actually combine the Gatling guns like this, right? You can actually even wield it in your hand, if not mistaken, the double one. But this Gatling gun won't connect together. You need to use a separate part like this. Okay, so this is actually comes in between 2 Gatling guns. As you can see over here, it is actually plugged in here, right? And then another Gatling gun here. So you have to remove this part. It's actually somewhat of a parts forming. Okay, so I think that's my only thing. Only thing about this kit. Nothing much, you know. As you can see, the kit is actually pretty sturdy. I don't really get any parts drop, except for the arm here is quite loose now. Maybe because I already left it like this for a long time. I haven't touched it or updated it. But you can see that the arm here is connected directly to the backpack, right? So the articulation is pretty good, all the way up, down. You can actually go almost any any angle, right? So this is actually I would say very good, right? But for this review, I'm gonna just remove them. It is very tight, right? I'll just remove them, make it the default heavy arms look. Okay, let's go through the articulations. Okay guys, so let's start with the articulations. Alright, before that I'm going to have to remove these weapons. Okay. Alright, so the base kit is actually pretty basic. There is no large shoulders or some big hand armors, etc. So this kit's articulation is actually pretty good, right? The head, you can go up to this far, down this far. It's pretty a lot, right? As you can see, it actually has a pretty good angle, and there is no seam lines on the head as what I can see. Compared to the other supernova kits, let's say the top part of this helmet, as you can see, this blue part here is actually a front and a back piece that when you sandwich together, there is actually a seam line in the middle, right? But for this kit, it's actually pretty good. So I don't have much complaint about this kit. Okay, all right. So the head actually pretty much that's about it. The arm, as usual, you can rotate it 360, but as you can see, it falls down is because this pack over here is very short. So it's actually a very tight, a very short fit. So it's easy to fall off. But if you were to just push it in all the way, it is quite secure. Alright. But as you can see, you can do 360 degrees turn. Okay, and then here also you can turn it 360. Of course, it will loosen up if you were to turn it, but I would suggest just make a turn and then you just tighten it up again. Alright, and this armor over here seems to always want to come up, but it's fine, you can always push it down. And then there is a double jointed elbow, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, it's a double jointed elbow, but you can't go all the way because the shoulder armor cannons thingy here will block it. Alright, so let's look about the open hatch gimmick on the arms. Okay, so for this you just open up straight, but always be careful of the V-fin over here, because this V-fin over here is actually slightly larger than the Bandai one, if not mistaken, right? So you can actually touch it if you are not careful, and if you paint the kit already, you might damage the paint. Okay, and as for the back, this part over here can open too, but just rotating it outwards. But there's no, nothing that you will stop it. So you have to actually do it yourself, get it to an angle like this and then just stop it. So this is actually how the arm part over here opens, right? Okay, and then the wrist over here is actually on a ball joint, right? See, you can just rotate it, right? It's a very basic thing. Alright, so I'll just start. Let me get a better angle. Okay, so for the torso over here, nothing. You can't really do any ab crunch. As per my experience, supernova kits always have issue with the waist over here. So I think nothing much you can expect from it. Just a little bit of rotation, right? The more you rotate, it will just fall off. Alright, so since we are at the chest, let's open up the chest and let you see. Alright, so open up the chest actually is very straightforward. You just peel it off from the middle, open it like a book, right? And the cockpit hatch here, you can open it up, and actually there is a seat inside here, but there's no pilot figure in there. Alright, and then the color separation here is pretty good, I would say. There is actually a silver part in the middle, and then there all of this black. This is actually two, I think, no, one black, whole big black piece will cover the bottom here to get it have a 3 or 4 color look, right? Make it looks way more detailed. I think it will look way better after painted. So let's see how it goes. Okay, so nothing else I can say about the chest. Okay, so let's talk about the skirts. Skirt armor here, you can open up like this, and these grenades over here will also open up. As you can see, it automatically opens up because of the angle. This grenade here, the cover here will touch this white waist part here, so it will force it to open. Okay, so that's one, and then you can rotate it front and back, but not much, or else you will push the front skirt armor out. Right, so the front skirt armor you can actually push up all the way like this. You can see there's a huge gap over here. It will help with articulations, but it won't be that much, right? So actually there's a hinge on this thing too, but I don't really find much of a use of the hinge. It just provides slight of extra range of movements for the legs later. Okay, and as for the back skirt, it's actually individually articulated from both sides. Okay, so let's look at the legs. So legs, actually you can rotate it not 360 but about that much, right? And then let's push all the way out, and let's do a knee pose, right? Oops. Alright, this kid is pretty flimsy at the waist. Okay, so let's look from the side. How does the knee looks? Not bad, right? Looks like a ordinary squat position. Of course, the knee armor here will actually block the articulation, but actually is the best I can see from Supernova. Right, and then let's see how to put this thing down. You can see actually there is a slight, not piston, but some inner details thing will come out. Actually, this is actually on all Supernova kits, but I just didn't mention it. Right, so this time I'll just mention it. You guys can just paint it separate color, maybe chrome color or silver color will be good. But as for me, I normally just paint my inner frame just one color. Okay, so because I'm quite lazy in that sense. And then the knee is actually a slightly separate part, and it does split open. See, it's pretty good. But of course, I always wish that the knee part will actually goes up here, this part here. If it's connected to this part, I think it would looks way better. But this is actually not bad. Okay, and then the legs, this is pointed down. Okay, so the legs actually is a very big leg. You can see this is pointed towards the end, and this pointed towards the front. So it's actually a very, very huge feat, right? Because it's supposed to be heavy arms, it's supposed to have heavy weapons. So you need to have a very, very stable feet. Okay, and then this part over here is actually just stick on to this thing over here, which is very, very hard to get in. Alright, so this part over here does have a little bit articulation, but it doesn't really hinder much of the legs articulation. Alright, if you ask me. Then the legs, you can actually point it up slightly because it's not really flat. Look now, and you can point it down. Oops. Bear with me, guys. This part over here is actually not the kit's fault per se. It's because I cut off some of the pegs slightly to loosen up the joints, because it's easy for me to remove them for painting in the future. Okay, so as you can see, this is actually how much it will point down. Not much, but it's good enough, right? So let's look at this open hatch gimmick thing here over here. Okay, so as you can see, this part over here is quite loose. Maybe it's just my unit, I guess, but it's quite loose. You see, it opens by itself, but it's actually not really a bad thing. If it could just be slightly tighter, it'd be good. Maybe just drop one tiny bit of glue over there and let it harden. Once it's hardened, only you attach it in, and it should be slightly stiffer, right? But if it's too hard, you might actually break the joint over here. So I think this is actually just about right, I guess. So as you can see, the silver is actually a separate part, and then the black part is just holes that poke the silver will poke through the holes, right? As you can see here. And as you can see, this part is very loose also because I cut off over here to make it easy to dismantle for painting. Okay, so nothing much I could say about this kit. This kit is actually very good. For bootlegs per se, I would say this kit is the best. Yeah, at the best as in overall best. Oh yeah, right. So this kit over here is actually my first supernova kit that actually I I mounted to the backpack over here. The rest of the supernova kit actually mounted to the crotch part. It's mainly because the other mobile suits actually is more all-rounder, I guess. But for this, the weights are actually mostly on the backpack. As you can see, the weapon over here is actually very heavy and big. Imagine you have to carry two of them on an articulated arm, and if you were to move it in a more weird position, it would be easy to fall off from this base, or either break the pack of the base, right? So this is actually just a very simple thing. They just put it in here and hook it. It's actually pretty secure. And with this, you can actually free up the movements of your legs, right? There's nothing in between your legs, so you can do a lot of crazy poses, right? Damn, I'm annoyed by this. Okay, so I think that's not much else things I would do. Alright, so for this arm over here, it's actually slightly loose. It's mainly because I think I did some mistake of the joints inside here, because actually it's actually a sandwich part, right? So this is actually the pack that moves the arm. Let's say this is the arm, and this is actually the one that sandwiched it over. So maybe I sandwiched it not perfectly, so that sandwich keeps opening up, so it becomes loose. So that is only the reason. I think before painting, I might just glue shut those parts so that the middle part, I will just glue it shut, but avoid the middle part being glued together, of course, right? And then if you guys want to know, the blue parts are actually also a separate part, right? If you were to, let's say, open up the chest, right, you cannot see anything inside because actually this gray part over here, the green part attached to the gray part, and then only this outer part covered it, right? So it is actually a very great kit. I would highly suggest you guys to get this kit. Oh yeah, weight issues. Alright, so for this arm over here, I will just ignore it because it is very weak at the moment due to my mistakes. So let's say weight. Let's try it 90 degrees. Okay, let's try 90 degrees. Come on, pack, don't come up. Okay, so you can't go 90 degrees. Why you can't go 90 degrees? Because the weapon over here touches this shoulder over here. I don't know what can I do about it. Can I sort this? No. Okay, so I would say the articulation of this kit, the only downside I would say is just the shoulder. Right, the shoulder you can't move out of the way, mainly because there is a big vent over here that locks it, right? So this is actually what you can get. It's a 90 degrees, but you can't get the weapon here due to this part. Let's see how to remove this part over here. Can I put it like this? Yes, I can, but see, the weight issue is there. Right, so I don't expect much of this. The articulation on the bootleg kit, but this is actually pretty good for me per se. You guys, the joints will be tighter after it's painted. Okay. Alright, so for the guns itself, it's a pretty detailed gun. Alright, there's a silver for the front. This is gray for the middle part, and silver again for the back. Alright, and then the green part over here is also separate parts. There is silver on this gray part over here. The handle is also silver, that you can open it up like this to hold it in that hand, but I don't really think you need to, because this pack over here do just fine. And then there is this two rods thingy in the side here, which is silver. Okay, and then these two separate silver parts at the back. So it's actually a pretty time consuming to build the weapons, because you have to build all 4 of it. Okay, all 4 of it. The other one. Alright, see, all 4 of it, and it's very, very heavy. So without all of this, the kit still looks pretty good and badass, if you ask me. Alright, so this is actually how it looks like, since this part is already loose. So there is just a hole, and then this part over here. So I think that's about it, nothing much. So I think I'll just go and paint over this kit and show you guys the result of the painted kit in the next video. Okay, sorry for the very late uploads nowadays, mainly because Chinese New Year, I'm quite busy doing few travelings here and there, and then also Kingdom Hearts just finally released after 12 years of waiting. Okay, so I've been playing that game for a while too, so I've been slightly procrastinating on Gunpla. Okay, but don't worry, I still will continue build Gunpla. I won't quit, but my build will be slightly slower because I have a lot of things on my plate. Okay guys, see you guys again next time. Thank you. Please leave me a like and subscribe if you guys like my video. I will just try to release maybe monthly video. If possible, I'll try to go two videos a month. Alright, see you guys later. Take care.